Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This is a video I'm very excited to make. I'm going to be talking about the Beatles finds that I got at the recent Fest for Beatles Fans that was held in Jersey City at the really fantastic Hyatt Regency Hotel. Hopefully Mark Lapidus, who runs the show, is going to be keeping this particular hotel for years to come. Really loved the hotel, everybody did. What I'm going to do is, in addition to showing the items that I bought, I'm going to, talk about the Fest for Beatles Fans itself and the experience that I had here and there, intertwined with these finds. Okay, to start with, I almost didn't make it to the Fest for Fans because about 2 days before, I came down with a sickness. Nothing serious, but it was enough that I was thinking I wasn't going to rally in time, but fortunately, all the stars were in alignment, and just in time for the fest, I was able to get down there for Saturday. And what happened was, first I started out going to my local record store, even before they opened, and I was able to meet Matt, who's known as Matthew Street, and he has a channel here. Please check it out. And I met his two sons over the course of the weekend. Great guys, and I got to tell you, folks, Matt is such a good-hearted kind of soul. I could tell already from having spent time with him. Really a class act, and so are his sons. They're brought up right. You can tell just by meeting them. But we got into the record store, early on, and met there. And from there, it was off to the Fest for Beatles Fans, where just a car drive away, and had a great time there. I want to just say one time, first of all, again, kudos to Mark Lapidus, who runs the show and has been doing so since 1974. It was my very favorite fest that I've ever gone to, and I've been going to these things since 1981. This was my first one. I mean, off and on, but most of, many times. Here's a program. They always come up with a different kind of style for the program. This is pretty nice. And before I get in properly to the things that I wound up getting, and you have to excuse me, I have an issue with my shoulder. I have a shoulder condition that flares up from time to time, and I think that going to the fest aggravated a little bit because I had to carry around a lot of heavy books, which I'll get into as we go along here. So it's like weird, I was kind of out of it before the show, and then when I came back from the show, I'm going through the shoulder thing. So sandwiched in between there was the Beatle Fest, but at least I rallied for that. Look at this. I like these bags that you get the stuff in. It's nice. Even the bags that you carry everything in are pretty cool. That's one of them. There's another one. Really nice. I'm going to save them. And because I bought so many books, I needed some kind of tote bag to carry them in, and this was cool. I got hold of this to lug the books around. And I must say that even though I lugged them, I was having a problem with my shoulder. My girlfriend Lisa was an amazing saint, always was, very supportive, very helpful here. She actually carried the books a lot of times for me, and she's, a small little thing, and she helped me out because she knew I was starting to get a little issue. All right, so I'm going to start showing properly here what I got, but before I do, just want to tell you that there's not a lot of vinyl here. There's very little vinyl. Most of it's memorabilia and books and things like that. Autographs. I'm going to show you autographs that I got. A lot of good stuff. Let's start out, I guess, with this. This is a yellow Submarine collapsible water bottle that I actually was given as a gift. It was really kind of a little prize for having participated in the Beatles trivia contest. I was given this by Al Sussman, Beatle Fan Magazine. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it, but I may use it over the summer or something. But it's really nice to get it as a prize. And by the way, if you want to check it out, if you didn't already, I have a couple of trivia contest videos, a few videos back here that I did when I was playing the trivia contest. Here's a book John Lennon versus the USA by Leon Wilds, who was, I should say, John Lennon's lawyer. Back when he was trying to help John to win his deportation case and stay in the United States, and happily they won, and John was granted residence. And this is a book that I was given again for participating in one of the trivia contests, and you can watch that. It was great because after I got the book, I left the room and in the trivia contest, and I got it signed by Leon Wilds, who was sitting out there on the table, so that worked out well. Okay, here's a book that I'd seen in somebody's video. I'm pretty sure it was Beatle Brad. Hey Brad, how you doing? Another guy to check out here on YouTube. He makes videos. Beatle Brad. Beatle Brad showed this, and I didn't even really know about this book. The Beatles, photographs from the set of Help, and I saw it there for a good price, and I knew I'd wanted to have this as soon as I had seen Brad show it. Now, with these books, of course, I can't show you a lot of photos. You know, Help is a movie I like. I never can decide whether I like A Hard Day's Night or Help better. Help was always my favorite Beatle movie, but I love them both, so it's really hard to say that they're so different. And you know, there's a nice picture there, the black and white one too, with the camera setup. I love camera setups, behind the scenes kind of shots like that when they're recording something. So this is a really cool book. Okay, that's another one down. Got a lot of stuff to show here, folks. Here's a book by Nancy Lee Andrews, nice hefty book called A Dose of Rock and Roll. And in this book, Nancy Andrews, there she is over there, shows a lot of photographs that she took. She was Ringo Starr's girlfriend in the 1970s. And there's Ringo up there at top. And she didn't just take pictures of Ringo, but other artists as well. And it's a very heavy book. A lot of things to show. I mean, I can't really get into all of this to give you some idea. She also took the photograph for the Ringo the Fourth album, which people know, but there's like a lot of shots on the side there of Ringo from those sessions. I mean, I really like books like this. I'm just going to show a few here. I mean, there's a picture of Ringo. I believe that's with his daughter, but I haven't read the text, so don't hold me to that. You know, pictures like that. Let's do something else that comes to mind. Wow. There's a lot of pictures of other stars in here. There's a Keith Moon shot, right? And here he is with Ringo on this page, and of course, this is Ringo during his drinking period, you know, before he sobered up in 1988. But anyway, really glad to have this. There's something you need to be careful with. Dust jacket here. In the dealer's room, I was able to find this Jeep. Okay, now, anybody out there that know Bruce Spicer? Bruce Spicer is an amazing, I guess, reference book writer, among other things, and so many of his books I didn't have, and I got a whole bunch of them today, because not today, at the fest. Here's one of them, The Beatles Are Coming, The Birth of Beatlemania in America. This is really, you know, reference books, you know, for if you want to check out certain things you have, certain releases, and what have you. You know. Now, Bruce Spicer was very nice there. I actually was able to get all these books. I got a few from him. You know, I got them autographed by Bruce, of course. Very nice. And like I said, these books are very heavy, hardcover books. And to carry them around, really, I didn't do my shoulder any good. But my girlfriend was nice enough to help me out. As I said, here's another one that I've been meaning to get. The good thing about these books, and I love this cover, this is one of my favorite photos ever of the Beatles. The Beatles' Swan song, She Loves You, and other records. These books were all discounted. They're usually very expensive books, but have the Atco label, different labels other than just, Capital. These are usually very, very expensive books, but he had a box that had books that were supposedly imperfect, meaning the covers might have been dinged or something. I'm looking for the life of me. I can't find any kind of imperfections with this, so it was like more than half price off these books. What a chance, an opportunity it was. And in order to get all of these books. Here's another one. This is a real heavy one. And again, I can't see any imperfections. Beatles for Sale on Parlophone Records. This particular book here is about the UK releases. And all these books, again, Bruce was nice enough to sign for me. Very cool. And if you want to look at all the releases, oh boy, I don't want to stretch it too much. Look at that, the NEMS bag that the Please Please Me album was in. And up there we have, this looks like it's the My Bonnie, the Polydor labels over there. And of course, all the Parlophone variations. So, I got some more of these kind of books coming later on. Okay, let's go over to, I saw this person, this author, giving a talk. He had a slideshow and he was talking about the Beatles live and, certain myths, whether they were true or not. And he's the author, Chuck Gunderson. And Chuck has 2 volumes out. They used to be hardcover. I got the soft cover. I bought both volumes because his talk was so good. He inspired me to go for it. Some Fun Tonight, Volume 1, 1964. And Volume 2 is 1965 and 1966. What can I say? Again, these things are just... But his talk was so fascinating to me. And my girlfriend also, who said, you got to buy that book. There's all kinds of stuff here to do with their tours. Too many photos to show. Just a taste of it. It was actually this person's slideshow and presentation that really, really, really got me interested in purchasing his books. So that's one. We'll give a little look quickly at the second one from 65 and 66. Pictures in there. So many Beatle books. So many Beatle books. Beatles bedroom scandal in the Insider. I mean, there's just so much. I like the 65-66 book even better than I do the 64 book. Okay, now we're going to go on to, let's see, where should we do next here? All right, let's go into some of the autographs that I got by some of the main guests there. Now, of course, the biggest draw of this particular fest was Klaus Voormann. Now, the people who don't know Klaus Voormann, he goes back to like 1960 in Hamburg, Germany, when the Beatles were playing, and Astrid Kirchner was the woman that went along with Klaus to see the Beatles perform, and they became fans instantly. Immediately, he says he knew they were destined for greatness. And of course, I had him sign the Revolver album cover for me. For those who don't know, this particular copy is not a great cover. I just did it because I'm going to frame it. So I bought a cheap copy to get framed, but there he is. And for those who don't know, he designed the artwork for the cover. That's iconic artwork from Klaus. And I didn't show this in a past Beatles Finds video, but I had picked this up from a reputable autograph dealer that I know. I bought the live piece in Toronto, which was already signed by Alan White, who plays the drums on this concert. And when I saw Klaus Voormann, he insisted. He said, I'll sign in the cloud. He said, I guess he signs the cloud of all of them. I don't know. So I thought that was really nice. So I got 2 signatures. Now all I need is Eric Clapton and Yoko on here, and we're good to go. So, okay, so I want to put this right back in here because this is a nice piece. Okay, now over the course of the show, I really loved seeing, for only my first time really, Denny Seiwell first played on the song Another Day, and the B-side Oh Woman, Oh Why, and everything for Ram. But he also played on Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway. He played on the 45 Live and Let Die, classic Wings song, Paul McCartney and Wings. Paul and Linda McCartney, I forget how that particular single was billed. But anyway, there he is over there, Denny Seiwell. I had already gotten Denny Laine over here from 2014, so it was a great piece, and I have a video up on it. You can see a couple of videos where Denny Seiwell was playing drums at the Beatle Fest. They had tracks from the Ram album, which is a great album, and they took the drums out and had him live playing the drums. I was so impressed with that I had to run up to the dealer's room, grab a really cheap copy of Ram that I found instantly for $5, and get back to the signing table one more time to get this one signed, which he personalized. I like this a lot. Denny Seiwell, and I'm going to tell you what a nice guy, what a down-to-earth, regular kind of guy he is. You can talk to. The best, absolutely. Also, while at the fest, I met Lawrence Juber. Now, I had seen Lawrence Juber and got his autograph at the 1982. You know, that's a long time ago, Beatle Fest. I had already gotten this signed by Steve Holley. Steve Holley was also at the fest this time, but I got him in 2014, and Denny Laine I had also gotten in 2014. I wanted Lawrence Juber to sign this. He signed it, but unfortunately he went ahead and signed it kind of in dark over the suit. I kind of would have preferred he did it up there, but hey, I have his autograph now. But I have Lawrence's autograph more than once. And while I was at his table, I did buy a couple of his own CDs that he has. Now, a lot of times when I listen to a certain Beatles radio show, Ken Dashow's Breakfast with the Beatles, he has Lawrence Juber on there as a guest, and Lawrence is a fantastic guitar player. For those who don't know, he played on Good Night Tonight, Paul and Wings single, and he played on the Back to the Egg album, most notably. And I bought two. He had more than 2 CDs, but I bought this one. LJ Plays The Beatles, and he signed it, of course. I don't know why he didn't use the silver marker on my other album, but okay. And I've heard him on Ken Dashow's show as a guest, and he plays amazing guitar versions, instrumental versions of Beatles songs. So, I hope he found a niche for himself. This is another one, LJ Plays The Beatles Volume 2, signed in gold this time, which is very nice. And another great guy, very friendly and personable. I remember that from 1982. He was good. Okay, I forgot to show that while I was at Denny Seiwell's table, I picked this up. Shabby Road. Henry McCulloch, who's now unfortunately deceased. Henry McCulloch, who also played the guitar solo on My Love, Henry McCulloch did, and Denny Seiwell. Shabby Road, a tribute to the Beatles. I really regret that, I had gone to a Beatle Fest with Henry McCulloch there, and for whatever reason, I did not get his autograph. Can you believe that? What was I thinking? I should have got Red Rose Speedway signed. Okay, also, now we're going into the stuff in the dealer's room. The dealer's room, I don't know if it's just me, but I think a lot of people are saying it seems smaller every time. The dealer's room is not as big as it once was, and there's so much stuff there. A lot of it priced so expensive, there's no way you're ever going to be able to afford it. But I needed this, which is pretty common. It's the last of the 4 flasher pins of the solo individual Beatles. I needed a George Harrison. I love George Flasher pin, so I was able to get that. And yeah, it's an original because I think they reproduce these things, and I made sure I got a real one or an original one. Here's I didn't really study this one very closely. I'm hoping this is an original pin. It's one of my favorites, and I'll get to it as soon as I pull it out of the bag. I think this is vintage. I'm a Beatles fan. It's the larger size pin. There's a smaller one that's a fake, but this one is really nice. I've always liked this. And when you see the back, and it looks like it's been through the wars, been around a little bit. You have to look for the NEMS logo on it, although I think I see it there. Oh, it's hard to read. There's writing on there. I can't really see the writing. You know, your shoulder goes, your eyes go. You know, what are you going to do when you get older? But it has writing on the side, so I'm thinking that it's an original pin. Now, what's left here is not much. These are the records that I bought here. I'm going to say it's pretty anticlimactic. There's not many, and then nothing really fantastic, but there are 3 of them. This is West Coast Invasion. That's still sealed. I'll open this and play it because it's an interview album. And there was a series of these albums from Psychedelic Records in 1990 or thereabouts, and they're all interview records. There's so many of them. There's East Coast Invasion, Around the World, Movie Mania, Here, There, and Everywhere. I think there's one called Not a Second Time, All My Loving. It goes on and on. I don't know if there's 10 of them in a title or something, 10 of them in a series, but this was one I needed, so I got it. West Coast Invasion. That was a good find, but it's easy to get this. It's not a rare album or anything. Here's an album that I had, as I always say, back in my original collection. It's an unofficial record. It's Nebworth, 1990, Paul McCartney, when he played the Nebworth concert. And I had this in my original collection. A very basic record. Label, you know. So this is another one that I've gotten back again. And you're not going to believe this. I'm going to finish off with a very common album that you could get just about any time, anywhere. And it's simply Yoko Ono, It's All Right. And I got it because it has the sticker. It contains the single My Man and the cryptic cover in the back. John is still here. With a lot of people don't like this cover. I think it's really nice. I think it's beautiful. It's really like John's spirit is still with us, even though, you know, with Yoko and Sean after he passed. I don't see anything grim about that or anything. I think it's great. And it's in the shrink, and I'm looking for it to shrink $5. So now I have it. Well, that's it. Of course, I knew this was going to be kind of lengthy, but thanks everybody for watching. The Beatle Fest was so much fun this year, and Mark Lapidus did such a great job, and he was nice enough to actually come on camera here for my channel and talk a little bit. You can see that a few videos back, if you backtrack a little bit, about the documentary, you know, the diary, if you will, of me at the Fest for Beatle fans. So anyway, thanks everybody again, and Beatle on.